What's up, everyone? Coach Derek, Shooting the Shit with Coach Derek podcast through CrossFit Mama Lab. Again, the official podcast. This is going to be a pre-recorded video just because I need to get something out there to get some material done and get over sucking at doing podcasts. So right now I'm just taking repetitions, trying to get better at this thing. I don't have any topics or anything I really want to cover, but I'll cover things that I love. I want to talk about everything. I don't want to have one main topic that I cover with certain people. I want to talk to everybody. Most of all, though, I want to talk fitness because that's what I love to do. In this podcast, the first official episode, we're going to talk about the hot topic that's just going to go on in the next few weeks, which is the CrossFit Open 2025. So anyway, those of you that belong to our gym or don't belong to our gym that are just watching this channel, the CrossFit Open is an annual test that they do every year to test your fitness and for you to see kind of how you've progressed through the year. So we call it a progression test. Most people in the gym that are doing it are going to be terrified to do the test because they don't know what to expect. If you've been showing up all year and you've been training, you're ready for the tests. So don't overthink it. Most people that I talk to in my gym and other gyms that I know of, that people that I know that go to other gyms, everybody's more so afraid of people watching them work out. But you fail to understand that CrossFit is a community. You're never going to be booed or shit on because you didn't do something right. People in CrossFit just want to see you do good, man. And that's one thing that drove me to CrossFit is the community and the camaraderie. There's no negativity. When you're finishing your reps and you've got 10 seconds left on the clock, everybody in the gym is going to be on their feet and screaming for you to finish and do your best. And they're all going to cheer for you. They're all going to clap for you. And all that anxiety and stuff you feel is just all in your head. And that's normal. And that's for high-level athletes. And that's for the everyday, recreational CrossFitter. Everybody feels the same. I'm nervous to see what the test is, but I also know that I've prepared over the last year to do better in all the aspects of where I was at last year. My biggest area of training this year was just a lot of gymnastics and building volume for gymnastics. So I'm actually excited for the gymnastics tests because I know that's what I've been working on. So that's kind of been my focus. I'm nervous for the workouts because I don't know what they're going to be, but at the same time, I'm good because I know that I've done everything I possibly could to prepare for it, and that's all that it comes down to. Did you prepare? Did you sleep? Did you sleep right? Did you eat right? Did you do the extra rep when you were supposed to do the extra rep? Did you take this session serious when you were supposed to take it serious? Not to say every session isn't serious, but you get what I mean. What I love most about CrossFit too is the ultimate bullshit detector. If you haven't been training, putting in the work, if you haven't been eating right, if you haven't been sleeping right, if stuff hasn't been right, you're not going to do very good. Unless you're a freak athlete. And those are far and few in between. There's supposed to be a redo test on one of these, so that's going to be a good gauge to some of the athletes of kind of how their training's going and how they've progressed. I'm excited for that one. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't really care what it's going to be because I know that I've prepared, and I know that I'll do better on it because I know that I've prepared. So it's not a cocky thing. It's confidence because I know that I've done literally everything I could to prepare. And those are the people that train with me know that I've prepared. So let's jump into it. So we're going to go over some quick strategies. I got my cool little strategy book here. First and foremost, most of us don't do this enough because we have kids, we have priorities, we have jobs, whatever it may be. Sleep. You need to get enough rest. You're not going to do anything last minute before the open that's going to make you do any better. You've trained an entire year. Now it's time to kind of taper down. For those of you that have to taper down, kind of taper down and get more rest so that your body's recovered so you get that 10 to 15% improvement jump for the open. If you go into it tired and sore and feeling like tired because you've been fucking running yourself through the ringer, it's gonna show. Okay, so make sure you get those cortisol levels down. Sleep, get some recovery, get some rest. If you have a coach in your gym, ask them about a nice recovery program or something that they can maybe some pointers they can give you themselves of what can help you. So remember that doing a lot now, which we're about a week out, doing a lot now is not going to help you anymore. You can run track, you can do a track run every day to try to improve your cardio. It's not going to help you. Nothing's going to help you. Eating proper and sleeping is what's going to help you now. Okay. Your training should, like I said, get a little bit lighter as you go, depending on your level of athleticism. So I know a lot of like the games level athletes and also like people like myself who train more. We're not going to take any breaks going up to it. We're still going to train twice a day. Maybe one session might be a little lighter than normal. Maybe leading up to the open, we'll probably go down more to like one workout a day rather than two. And then just focus more on like recovery and stretching and stuff like that with our second workout. Everybody's gonna have different strategies, but like I said, meet yourself where you're at. If you're here, don't try to be here and don't try to be here. Okay, be here and be okay with that. One thing you're not gonna improve, or one thing you're not gonna do is you can't compare yourself to the pros. Okay, the pros are the pros. They eat, sleep, breathe, fitness. That's all they do. They train, they eat, they sleep, and they're in the gym probably 6+ hours a day. So, they're also obsessed with what they do. You know what I mean? And you may train 45 minutes, an hour a day, maybe 3 days a week, 4 days a week. Understand that these people are training 6 to 7 days per week, 6 hours probably at least. So don't compare yourself. I know I get excited too when I see the open and I see these pros do it, and I'm like, oh, that's easy. I'm going to put up that time too, or this or that. And you got to understand that like you're not at that level. And if you are at that level, cool, go for it. But if you're not, and you're more of a recreational CrossFitter, you have a family, you work, and you just do CrossFit because you love CrossFit, an hour a day, 3 to 6 days a week, whatever. Understand that like you're not going to put up those games numbers unless you are super dedicated and you train like a games level athlete. I get caught up to myself and like watching these games level athletes, and like I'll do the same workout they do on the open. I'll be like, man, I suck. But really, I don't suck. I just inexperienced. They have way more experience. They put in more time. They're way more dedicated. So understand you need to meet yourself where you are, okay? And be okay with that. This year you may be here, next year you might be here, okay? And that's the progression that CrossFit gives you as you go through the process of year-to-year training. So just understand you need to meet yourself where you're at and be okay with that. If you've prepared and you've been training and doing everything you possibly could, understand that you might feel great, and you might wake up the day of the CrossFit and you might have a cold, and then guess what? You're not going to have a very good performance because your body's battling a bug. I know with me right now, I got the sniffles, I got a little cough, so I'm battling a bug too. So I know going into the open, maybe the first week or two, probably going to be a little rough for me. I'm still going to do it, but I know that that's just something I got to battle, and I just got to get up and do it. You're going to listen to me reference myself a lot throughout my podcast, and it's not out of arrogance or out of cockiness or any of the other bullshit, but I've been my own coach my entire CrossFit career, so I've been about 4.5 years. I had a coach maybe for the first month or two, and then I kind of just took the handles on my own training, and I trained myself. I taught myself how to do CrossFit basically. So that's the only experience I have with myself, is me being my own coach. So I reference myself a lot. I'll try not to, but I do. Okay. Anyway, so sleep. Okay. Recovery. We went over that too. Make sure you're recovering. So like Electrolytes, get enough water. You should be getting a gallon of water a day. You should be eating the right foods. If you're not eating the right foods and you're snacking on stuff that's crap, processed garbage, it's gonna create more inflammation in your body. It's gonna take you way more time to recover in between open workouts. Some of you may need a day, some of you may need two, some of you may not need any, but understand that eating the wrong foods is gonna give you, it's gonna prolong your healing process. So try to stay away from all the processed crap. Try to just eat the basic CrossFit diet stuff, the zone block stuff. So you, nuts, fruits, vegetables, poultry, meats. Try to keep dairy. I know that's a big one for a lot of people. Try to keep dairy out. Dairy creates a lot of inflammation in the body. I noticed a big difference in myself. Again, referencing myself, but I noticed a big difference in myself when I eat dairy. I'm sore longer than if I wasn't eating dairy. So some of you pay attention to that, okay? Keep the junk food out of the diet. It's only 3 weeks, all right? Only 3 weeks. A recovery meal after your workout, you know, get the carbs and proteins in you, get the electrolytes in you. Do everything you can that can prepare you for the next workout, okay? Everything that you can do with recovery, diet, and sleep, man. It's only 3 weeks. 3 weeks out of your whole year, okay? Let's go over it again. Don't compete with the pros. Don't compete with the higher level athletes in your gym. CrossFit's like, I compare CrossFit a lot to Jiu-Jitsu because they're very similar, okay? You've got all these different things in one, okay? And you've got a belt system. Like it's a white belt, beginner, blue, purple, brown, black. If you're a white belt, don't try to compete with the blue belts. Don't try to compete with the purple belts. Don't try to compete with the brown belts. Don't try to compete with the black belts. Because you're going to learn real fast that they are that rank for a reason. You're going to watch probably some higher level guys go, or girls, and you're going to watch them move, and you're going to watch their strategies, the way they switch their hands up, if they're doing wall walks, the way they row, their speed on the row, their barbell cycling, and you're going to see that, and you're going to try to mimic that because you think that's how you're supposed to go fast. It's not. They put a lot of time in. Again, to get a brown belt, a black belt, it's 3 to 5 years. These people probably been in the gym 5+ years. Okay, they're at their level for a reason. Something you see a lot with like high volume Olympic lifting. So say if we have like a 21-15-9 of clean and jerk, you'll see them cycle the barbell and make it look super easy. Understand that they have years under their belt of doing that, and they understand their body, they understand their breathing pattern, they understand, they understand everything. They know their pacing, okay? They're pacing out their workout the way that they prepared to train or to do their workout, okay? If you're a white belt, you're not gonna be able to cycle a barbell 21 times, especially if it's heavier weight. Maybe do singles, okay? Maybe do doubles, but don't try to go unbroken. Again, they are at their level for a reason. Respect that, and like I said, come up with your own strategy, okay? Because if you try to get in a bunch in a row and your heart rate spikes, your performance is gonna go downhill. So, again, for myself, when I watch the pros do it on the announcement, I'm like, oh shit, Rich Froning did that workout in 8 minutes. Cool, all right? So I just saw him jump up on the wall when he did his wall walks. Maybe I should do that. When I don't train that way, I step up on the wall. I'm a bigger athlete. I weigh 227, 28 pounds. I can't use quick explosive movements because I haven't trained that way. So when I do it, my muscle memory and my central nervous system is going to say, what the hell is this new movement? And it's going to freak out, and I'm going to spike my heart rate. I'm going to lose my breathing pattern because I spiked my heart rate, and I'm going to fall apart. I don't know how many wall walks are going to be in a workout, if there are any, but if we say we have 50, I'm not going to be able to go unbroken. And if I try to go unbroken, or I try to do some fancy shit where I jump up on the wall and climb upside down like Spider-Man, it's going to mess me up. So I'm going to have to take my own strategy. I'm going to have to work. I'm going to have to keep my same breathing pattern that I'm used to in training, okay? And understand, if you're training the right way and you're doing your own strategy and you're working on your breathing and your pacing, you're already going to understand that when the competition comes. Your body's going to know the movement, the breathing pattern, everything, okay? So like for myself, if I'm doing wall walks, I'll chalk my hands beforehand, I'll throw them on the line, and I'll do 1 rep, and I'll make my trail with my hands. And when I jump into the workout, I'll follow that pattern the entire time, and I won't let myself get away from it. Sometimes I may not need a breath in between. Sometimes I may need one. Sometimes I may need 3 if it's later in the workout, okay? Just understand that, okay? But understand your level and where you're at, okay? Don't try to mimic anybody else, okay? We all do it. We all fall into the traps, okay? We all fall into the traps. Also, your pacing, no matter what the workout, never come out 100%. You're better off going slower in the beginning and finishing fast, okay? So it's like running the 5K. If your fastest mile is your first mile, the rest of your race is going to be shit because your performance is going to spike, your heart rate's going to spike, and you're going to go poo. Okay, same thing with CrossFit. It's no different. Okay, fitness is relative, man. No matter what it is you're doing. If you go fast in the beginning, and we all see it, I call it the Conor McGregor effect. I have a lot of people in my gym who do the same shit. The Conor McGregor workout. I call them all Conor McGregor, and I make fun of them all the time. Conor McGregor has a great first round because he's fresh and he's cool and he's talking shit, and then all of a sudden, what happens in the second round? A little bit less talking shit, getting hit a little bit more. Third round, he's usually submitted, or not to say he's submitted. You know, you see his performance drop as the rounds go on because he uses his whole gas tank in the first round. Okay, and that's what I call people Conor McGregor all the time. So let's say we have 3 rounds, 10 reps. Let's say a 10 cal row and 10 burpees over the rower. If you come out hot on that first set because you want to be off the row first and you're looking around you and you're seeing other people get off fast, your performance, again, you're going to spike your heart rate and you're going to go to shit. Every round you're going to get progressively slower. Whereas you should do the reverse. Go slower in the beginning, faster in the middle, fastest at the end. Okay? You should have enough in the tank at the end to do a full sprint for, depending on your level of capacity, you should have at least like a 5 to 20 second super sprint, all out, 100% at the end of every workout. Okay. Some of us, our capacity is a little bit higher because of the way we train. Some people, you're not going to have as much capacity, but don't sprint in the beginning. Calm yourself down. Don't let the nerves get the best of you. Stay composed and just understand, like, it's just a workout. You're just being held to the highest of standard, which you should already be held to, okay? You should already be held to the highest standard by your coaches. I know sometimes we slip up as coaches and we don't see everything, but that's the only difference is now we're just watching you work out and we're critiquing everything you do. And that's how it should be. You should be judged off your full range of motion and your movements every day. That's how you get better, okay? And understand that, like, as judges, we're not being hard on you. We're just holding you to the standard that CrossFit has set that's ultimately going to make you a better human being, okay? Redos. So those of you that have a strategy of where you want to do multiple workouts, depending on where you're at, I don't really recommend it. If you're fighting for a position and you know, like, you could possibly go to semifinals or, whatever, by all means do it. But you should leave it all on the floor the first time, okay? One test and done. The higher level athletes, a lot of people like to do it twice. I don't like doing stuff twice. I started doing them twice this year just to see strategic wise, like what I'm leaving out and what I'm doing, just so I can take those notes so that I can have them for next year, for this next block of training for this next year. But there's no reason to redo a workout, okay? It's not going to make a difference. You're not going to, if you're not, that top 1% on the leaderboard, you're not going to go to the games. Like, there's no reason. Get back to training and focus on getting better for next year, okay? So don't put a big pressure on yourself to want to be in that top 100 if you're not there, okay? And I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying, you're better off going back to just your normal training and and just getting better, okay? So, but if you want to redo them, it's all on you, okay? Understand though that some of us don't have big gyms, so if you want to redo workouts, it's a lot on the affiliate owner and a lot on the coach that's coaching, having all that room being taped off and used during classes. So also keep that in mind, okay? We don't want to tell you guys no, but also it is kind of a hassle, but we are happy for you, so don't get it twisted, all right? At the end of the day, we just want to see you guys do better. But also, like I said, respect the gym. change up your strategy. I already went over that. Don't change up your strategy. Okay, I'm not going to go over it again. Also, this is a big one. Understand spacing. So every athlete's different. Okay, we're all excited. We all want to come into the gym. We all want to warm up and get all of our stuff in beforehand. And just understand, don't change up your diet. Okay, if you're eating, let's say for instance, if your normal lunch is rice, chicken, and broccoli, but because you have the open coming up at 4 o'clock, now you think you need pizza or you need something heavy because you need all these carbs. Your body knows your eating patterns, so if you start throwing a bunch of shit in your tank and your body's not used to having that shit in the tank, your body's gonna get stressed out and it's probably gonna mess up your performance. So stick to what you're eating. There's nothing that you're gonna eat beforehand. There's no goose, there's no fucking whatever the hell else you wanna call it. There's nothing that's gonna help you have more energy for your workout. Just stick to your same meal plan. Again, don't switch up anything last minute, okay? Nothing. Don't eat right before you compete, obviously. Make sure you give yourself at least an hour to 2 hours before. You're probably gonna be doing workouts in the time domain of maybe 10 to 20 minutes, depending on the week. So just know that don't switch it up, okay? Don't take pre-workout right before if you've never taken pre-workout, okay? Don't do anything crazy. That's probably one of the most important, okay? And also, when you're warming up, I know people are nervous, you guys want to talk to each other, everybody's, oh, well, I'm nervous for this, I'm nervous for that, or hey, I'm excited for this. Not everybody is outgoing when they're warming up because they want to focus on the task at hand, which is their workout. They've been preparing the entire year, so just respect everybody's space. Again, I'm going to reference myself. I know when I start warming up for a workout, I don't want anybody talking to me. I want to be left alone. I'll talk to you, but I'll be short. You know what I mean? Being an affiliate owner, when I start warming up and there's other people in the gym, everybody has a billion questions for me, and that's fine. But like I said, I'm trying to get myself in my mental capacity or my mental state of mind to go to battle with myself, and I can't get into that zone if I have a bunch of questions that are being asked. You know what I mean? So and I'm not just saying for me, I'm talking about just in general. Other people in the gym, they might be nervous, scared, they're gonna show up early and sit in the parking lot and sweat it off, and where is everybody? You know what I mean? They're gonna be different, and that's just because they're nervous. So just respect that. If they look like they're falling apart, just give them their space unless they come to you and talk to you. Respect the fact that if some people don't want to talk and they just want to warm up, they're not an asshole. They're just trying to get in their mental state of mind to go to battle with themselves. These workouts are going to be painful. They're going to be frustrating. There's going to be camaraderie, and there's a time for that, and that's after the workout. After the workout, I guarantee you everybody, no matter how quiet they were in their warm-up or how loud they were in their warm-up, everybody's going to finish and jump up, and everybody's going to give each other hugs and high fives and tell each other good job. And that's when the community comes together. But while you're warming up, just kind of respect people's space. But understand too, if there are people that do want to talk, so talk to those people, migrate towards those people. Like I said, you're prepared. So if you've been training consistently the entire year, understand that we prepare you guys to deal with anything. That goes back to being constantly varied, okay? We do everything that you're gonna see. There's not one thing on this open that you're gonna be like, oh my God, I haven't been practicing that. There are some things you might, but understand that it's constantly varied. So you're gonna be doing different stuff too. So just understand that you're prepared. All you have to do is try to control your mind as much as possible, keep your composure, and just let your body move. You're prepared. Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. All it is a workout at the end of the day. It's a workout. And at the same time, it's a bonus workout because we're with our entire community. There's somebody you may see from at the gym during the open that you've never seen before. It's because they train at 5 a.m. and you train at 5 p.m. You know what I mean? So you're going to meet a lot of new people, a lot of cool people. Everybody shares the common goal. We're all there to get better. We're all there to get fitness. And we're all there to cheer each other on. Like I said, you're not going to meet one person who's sour and says like, oh man, you suck. You sucked at that workout. Nobody would tolerate that in any CrossFit affiliate. I would kick somebody out like that if they did that shit. But just understand that like everybody's going to be there supporting you, cheering you on. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a life-changing experience for everybody. And I promise you, your life will improve for the better because of the CrossFit Open. And that's the official first podcast. That was painless. Sometimes I ramble on too much and I talk way too damn much. But yeah, so anyway, this is the first podcast of many. We finally broke the damn seal. I got to give a shout out to my guy Phil for pressuring me and bullying me to get this podcast out. I plan on doing as many as I can. Again, hopefully I get a video out once a week. That's the goal. But if there's anybody out there that wants to hear any topics or anything, go ahead and leave them in the comments and I'll look at them and I'll start making videos for that. But yeah, let's go, baby.